Hello, I'm here in Austria, and I just was sitting up here enjoying this beautiful view on this, not really a mountain, just sort of the top of just a park on top of a hill. And I just started thinking how we overcomplicate life so much. Like, life is really meant to live simply. And the reason I thought this is because I was just sitting here and realizing how much I'm just enjoying this view and just like enjoying just sitting here in the moment. And I realized that this is all really life ever is. Most of the things that we go after, most of the things that are filling our schedule every day are kind of unnecessary if you think about it. We have like just unnecessary relationships, unnecessary drama, unnecessary responsibilities, unnecessary obligations. And it just got me thinking how much like life is meant. The happiness and the fulfillment that you're looking for is not found in acquiring more. And I've said this a million times. It's found in less. It's found in learning to let go of all the unnecessary stuff that you don't need. You see, most of that stuff, like most of the things that we spend our time doing, especially in America, it seems this is my first time really in Europe spending time here, and it seems significantly less here, but maybe you could speak on that if you're from here. But in America, like all of the things that we're so obsessed with, social media, Netflix, adult content, alcohol, weed, it's all of that stuff is literally meant to keep you in a childlike state. It's all used as a way to just escape from your life. It's meant to have something that you can rely on for a dopamine rush every single day. And I noticed that a lot of people who are kind of on a similar path as me, and probably you, if you watch me, sort of this awakening spiritual path, you start realizing how like toxic and unnecessary all of that stuff really is for you. I really firmly believe it's just meant to really enslave you and keep you trapped. And much like the way that a child is constantly wants more toys and more candy, it's very similar to us. Like we just always want more. We want more of the Netflix series. We want more of we want more alcohol. We want more friends. We want more relationships. We want a better person to be in a relationship with, a more attractive person. It's just all about acquiring and achieving more. And this is just where we're at in our evolution as a society. But we are sort of waking up to all of this, and we're starting to change pretty drastically, I think. I mean, a lot of people who's kind of similar content to me are all talking about this. You have to understand, you have to get it through your head that life is meant to be lived simply. True happiness, true fulfillment is meant in just being able to sit at a place like this and just enjoy. Not sitting here and worrying about what you're going to do later, who you're going to see later, worrying about a bunch of problems. See, a lot of our problems come from our own desires. So for example, you have such a desire for a relationship and a person, and now you have this person in your life, but now they cause you a bunch of problems, a bunch of issues that you're always worried about and you always have anxiety over. When you adapt a more simple, minimal life, you don't have that. You have permission now, you have the availability to just enjoy each day as it comes, to just sit and meditate and be in the moment. We're always just like, we think that there's going to be some sort of finish line with the amount of achievements and degrees, and and I'm guilty a lot of this stuff too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect by any means. It's definitely diminished a lot less over the years, and it does. That's how it works. It'll diminish a lot slowly. You'll start losing interest in a lot of the things that you once thought were going to fulfill you and make you happy. And you might have to sort of go through that phase because, like I said, it's part of the brain's evolution, like achievement and the desire for more and the desire to be the best. It's just like an evolutionary part of the human ego. And you might have to go through that first. Like, this might not even make sense to what I'm saying here, won't even make sense to like a Wall Street CEO. They'll be like, what do you mean? Like, life is all about making $1 million. But a lot of people, they go through that phase and then they kind of evolve out of it. And some never do. Some just stay like that forever. But I really would encourage you to understand that there's just no means to an end with that kind of stuff, with always chasing, always wanting more, always wanting to be the best, always wanting attention or likes on social media. Whatever it is, everybody's got something. No one is 100% immune to any of this. But it all just keeps you very enslaved. It keeps you in it almost keeps you like a little kid. It keeps you in a childlike state. Like for me, what's really important for me is real like personal growth. Like noticing the areas of my life that I'm lacking, or noticing my sort of flaws and maybe my sort of characteristics, personality flaws, and really working on them and seeing how much I improved and changed. Acquiring a lot of money, and that's important too. I'm not saying it's not, but that's never going to bring you the real fulfillment like something like some real personal growth or real spiritual growth will. Being able to look back on the person you were a few years ago and seeing how much you've evolved and how much you've changed is literally priceless. You know, having some real solid good relationships in your life, having a lot of knowledge, being able to like sit and meditate for long periods of time, these types of things, these are mine, and being out in nature. These are sort of my things that I love. And there's a reason that this stuff is always recommended, because this is how life is meant to be lived. It's meant, like all other content creators and in spirituality, they always recommend the same stuff. It's like wake up every day, meditate, drink some clean water, eat a primarily plant-based diet or just a good diet, get some exercise, get some sunlight, because that's all that you need. Work towards something that you love, be around good people. That's right there. Like that should be the majority of that should be filling your schedule basically. I think anyway, but again, you have to just discover that on your own. But I'm just telling you, if I could go back and talk to myself 10 years ago, that's what I would have told myself. And I think that's what I'm really doing with this channel and most of these videos is I'm really just talking to an older version of myself and hopefully anybody else that's still like I was at that time, you know? But yeah, you might, once you sort of gain more awareness through practices like meditation and deep breathing, and you start really, or not even meditation, just focusing on being more aware of your actions, being more aware of how your time is being spent. Notice the times you zone out to the video games and the Netflix and that kind of thing. Notice how much time is being wasted. You'll slowly, like awareness itself can be curative. You can sometimes, just by being aware of something, you can sort of fix that thing. And the more that you're aware of it, you'll slowly start realizing like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to sit here and play video games for 5 hours. I don't want to watch Netflix all day. I don't, you know. And again, it's not so much about that there's anything wrong with those things per se. Everybody has a vice or a way of enjoying themselves, but you got to realize, like, I wouldn't say life is short, but it can feel short if you waste it away. You want to spend it doing meaningful things, I think, whatever that may be for you. Maybe that's giving back to the world in some way. Maybe that's some sort of creative, artistic endeavor. Maybe it's some sort of athletic thing. Maybe it's, I don't know. I can't really tell you. You have to find out what it is. But I can tell you, if you don't have it, the worst thing you can do is waste your time doing shit like, you know, excessive social media or video games and that kind of thing. It's just, I mean, America especially, we're just so, like, they really have corrupted us with all of that stuff. That's really the point of this video, is that the true happiness and fulfillment that you're looking for is actually going to be found in significantly less, not more. It sounds cliche, and I probably would have laughed at this a couple years ago, but I see now that it's the truth. Life is meant to be lived very simply, but we overcomplicate it.